Hello everyone, welcome back. I was asked recently, I partially defoliated my horse chestnut, and someone asked, can you do, or should you do the same with sycamores? This is one of my sycamore trees, and the answer to that would be yes. If you don't, you'll end up with leaves about that size on the sycamore. But as you can see on this one, I'm starting to get the leaf size down. Even the kind of older leaves now are probably a third of the size they would be if I'd left the first leaves on. You can see some of them are still quite big. Then you can see we're starting to get some smaller ones. So I'm going to give this one another going over now. I did it not so long ago, but you can see the smaller leaves are kind of struggling. And they're not getting enough water and stuff, and these leaves are taking it all. So we're going to take off all the bigger leaves and let them a bit more energy get into the smaller ones, a bit more light. Oops. So we'll just bring the camera in a bit better. So again, like with the horse chestnut, we'll just take off all the leaves, or most of the leaves. It also helps with ramification, and the more ramification you get, the smaller the leaves will become, because the more branches you have, then obviously the more leaves you'll have. The more leaves you have, the smaller they'll have to be. You can see how big some of these leaves are getting if you leave them, and they will shadow out all the small leaves inside, all these ones. And by the looks of it, they're not getting enough water probably, because it was so big and full. It rained quite a lot, but this is pretty dry, this soil. It's slightly damp, but it's probably not got as much water as it would have had they've done this yesterday, say. So we'll do this, and then we'll give it a good watering, maybe a bit of food, and growing again. I don't want to feed it too much because I don't want it to kind of really start growing huge leaves again. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit of organic food just sprinkled on the top, fertilizer, sprinkled on the top, so when it does get watered, it just gets a small bit of feed every time. That normally lasts a couple of weeks or so, depending on how much watering you do. You can put it in the little container things, but I find if I do that, the birds and that come and take it, so I grind mine down to a more of a powdery size, and then I just sprinkle it on the top. Or sometimes I just put some liquid feed into the barrel before I water them. I use a pump to water my trees. I have barrels with pumps in them, so I can just pour some food into that. So then when I'm watering, they're getting a bit of food then that way. you can see how dense it's getting. And this is the second time I've done this year. This was and may still be the sycamore that I put in as my sycamore gap tree, but as you can see now the leaves are still way too big. I have to really get it ramified and get some smaller leaves before I can use it in that planting. Okay, so just thin this out up here a bit now, and then that'll be it for this one. Okay, so I'm not taking everything off, I'm just taking some off. So this is basically the front, I would say. There's a couple of branches that may wire down at some stage, but I won't do it now. Just to open it up a bit. But at the moment we're still just getting it growing. And that can be done probably in the autumn when it's stopped growing and it's lost its leaves. Maybe we'll do a bit of branch work on it, but we'll see. We might do it at some stage later in the summer. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. It's got enough room now for plenty of water. These are all kind of fresh new leaves. You can see all the old ones we took off quite a lot. So we'll put that one back out on the bench and we'll bring in the next tree. Okay, so the next tree is this big alder. Well, it's not that big, but it's pretty full, as you can see. This is the one that I put. I used to have a thread graft through here, coming from the main tree. I had it bent around and going back in, and the fox decided to come and chew on that branch and bite the end off. So I decided then I just had this little alder here, so I just put the pot on top of the thing and I wired through, no, not wired, I grafted through this branch off this one through the tree there, so it's giving us a lower branch down here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this tree's branch back, because we want the bulk of its energy growing into that tree, or that branch. So I'm going to reduce all these branches right back. And that way then it can concentrate more on thickening that one. And we can work on this little tree afterwards once we have this one grafted through. So what we're waiting for is this to thicken up and attach itself properly to this. Now, since we've done that, we've actually got a new branch growing out here. So we'll leave that. I'm not sure if I'll use it, but we'll leave it for now. Now, as you can see, the top's gone a bit wild, so we need to I'll leave this one. I definitely want to reduce some of this back up here. Again, try and get the leaf size reduced. If you watched one of my recent videos, you'll see my other alder, which I spent a bit more time on, has leaves a lot of small leaves. Its biggest leaves would only probably be maybe this size. This one you can see is really starting to get some big leaves. So we get rid of them by pruning it back to some outward facing branches. Taking off any of the big ones. Go in here and take out any of the bigger leaves. Again, this is not one of my prettiest trees. Quite a lovely tree. It's just one I collected. I did a big chop on it, and it was one back in the day when I was starting out. So it's kind of not the best of starts to a bonsai life. It was basically a practice tree I was practicing on, and so, but we'll try and get it back to something half decent if we can one day. See, this top now is a bit kind of, trim it back for now. Needs a bit of work doing to it. And now we'll just get rid of anything that we don't want and just let it keep thickening up a bit up here. And eventually we'll create it into a bit of a better looking tree. So just a few more back here to do. Big ones in here, get rid of. Okay, so we're leaving this one to thicken up. We need to fill the hole and kind of gel together with the main trunk. We want that one kind of growing as thick as we can. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for now. I think that'll do. Like I said, it's just I keep going to prune that one, I keep forgetting. Yeah, so I think that'll do for now. Again, we took off a mountain of leaves. You can see there quite a lot, so that will hopefully start. You can see the leaves are starting to get smaller, and now more light can get in, so raising out more branches, and then they will keep getting smaller. Yeah, so the only problem I do have is this pot is very small. What I should have probably done is repotted this into a bigger pot, and then did this, so that because the pot is so small, it dries out very quick. And alders do dry out quite quickly, and they're quite thirsty trees. These are the ones that tell me first that my trees need watering. When I see the alders starting to droop, then I know that it's time to water. Okay, so I'll just put it on there, and one more tree, just do a quick pruned on it. Needs a bit of weeding too, but I'll do the weeding after. And it's this birch. Set this one out the way now again. Okay, so we've got this birch now, and again with this one, it was just a big tree that I did a big chop on it. Again, it's kind of grown a bit ugly. It did have better branching. There was a big branch here coming out, but it just dropped that branch. They do have a tendency to drop branches, these. So again, we'll just take it back a bit. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this tree. That's just another unusual ugly shaped thing. We need to do something with one day, but what, I don't know. It may end up in the ground. So now I know it, we'll keep working on it. Another tree that sends out big leaves, and the fact that they do drop branches is not great. Chop that all back a bit. How long they get. Very little on them. If they're left to grow. Some of these leaves now. Okay, I just wanted to clear it back a bit because again it's just taking up too much space on the bench. So, like I said, not too sure what I'm going to do with it, but for now we'll keep it going. I will weed this one before I bring it out because it's got a few weeds in it, but we'll leave the video there. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on them. I'm sure the alder and the sycamore will be back in again for more pruning at some stage in the next few weeks. I like to keep them pruned regularly rather than doing one whole big stripping of all the leaves. Okay, so we'll call this video done. So as always guys, thanks for watching and we will see you on the next one.